Hello, dear friends. Welcome to the first press conference of round 2 of FIDE candidates tournament. Fabiano Caruana won his game against Kirill Alekseenko. Thank you for coming, Fabiano. You joined the leaders. There is a whole leading group after today's round. And your game was really very interesting. And at some point, it seemed that your king is exposed, but actually the tables turned, and finally it was black who got mated. Can you please show the key moments of the game?
I mean, I played a very sharp line. It's clear this is a very fighting line and also very risky for white. The upside is that it isn't something that he could possibly expect. I've never played this opening before. And I think he was decently well prepared, but it would probably, because the line he played is extremely decent for black, but it was probably a bit hazy in his memory what to do in this position. And it was also a bit hazy in my memory for what black is doing here, or what white is doing. I thought that rook b8 or queen b6 might be interesting moves.
Like rook b8 here?
Yeah, just right, to get out of the way of knight c7. And the move he played looked unusual to me, because bishop f4 is a move I want to make. Although it is very sharp and concrete, and even unusual moves might not be bad. I also thought that that g4 was possibly interesting. a6 knight g5 looked good, but it was rather messy, and I thought bishop f4 was more logical. And also g4, there was something I wasn't entirely sure about, like bishop g6, knight g5, rook e8, something here, knight c7, and some move here didn't look entirely clear to me. Maybe some exchange cycle, like rook takes e2 and rook c8 maybe. Anyway, I thought that bishop f4 should be a good move. And then he showed his idea, which is very clever, to kind of provoke my pieces forward and then attack my bishop. And he has ideas of like bishop takes f3 and rook d4. And I think by force, he had to sack a piece, which led to this position. And it was kind of a comfortable situation for me because I had a lot of time and I felt like my position is kind of good and very safe. I felt like I have a safe advantage here. Mainly because I have the square d5 for my pieces, and so the extra piece really makes itself felt in this position where I have an outpost on d5, and I thought like knight f6 was his pretty much his only chance to fight.
So basically here you already evaluated your position as a winning one. As a winning.
No, I didn't think it was winning. I thought it was better, and after this move I thought that it's probably close to winning. After knight f6 the point is that he doesn't allow my pieces to kind of get to d5. Like if I go bishop f5, rook b8, he takes on d6, and my knight will come to d5, but I'll have to take back with something else on the bishop, and the bishop is what I really want to take back with. So I wanted to play like rook e1, with the tactical point that after queen d6, knight d5, so now I'm trying to get the outpost, and if he plays queen g6, it looks like it wins a rook, but I have queen g2, and queen e4, knight f6 will win the queen. So he has to go for an endgame, which is probably not easy to win, but I thought it's also very difficult for black to defend because his pawns are not moving, and I mean I have this tremendous outpost on d5. And in the game I just didn't see any defense for him. I mean he somehow can't get activity, and my pieces just start to come with attack. Like he would love to play knight e5 at some moment, but for example it just doesn't work because of queen c8.
Yeah, little tactics.
Yeah, and also on the previous move, he could have done this. It wasn't like obviously losing to me. Queen g2, queen e5. I thought like queen h3. I mean, it felt like it's borderline lost. Queen d4, king f1, f5, and queen c4. And I saw something which looked like sort of like a win here. I think king g1, but it's unlikely that these tactics will work for black. And in the game, he kind of made some natural looking moves, but after king h1, rook g1, knight h4, it all comes, and the tactics all work in my favor.
Yeah, here it already seems that it is very easy to play for white.
Yeah, there's just one like nice last moment that here I take on g4, queen h6, now I'm threatening mate, and if bishop f8, then knight f6, and he can't take with the bishop because of mate, and this is a trivial, I think I can even take on g6, but other moves are also trivially winning.
Well, it's interesting that in such tense and tactical position, with a lot of calculation, you didn't really find yourself in time trouble, so you really had good time management in this game. So do you have some special strategy, to manage how to manage your time in this tournament? There's a very long time control.
Yeah, it's nice not to get into time trouble in general, but it's not so easy. Games like this where you play long theory, and like the first, let's say, 15 moves or so were kind of theory. Then the situation clarifies. There's some games where you start playing on like move 7 or 8, or even earlier, and then you usually get much lower in time, and there it's much more challenging to actually manage your time properly to avoid time trouble. In a game like this, it did kind of course, it's still possible to spend time in any position, but it's much easier to keep your time at a comfortable amount when you're sort of pressing from the opening and you have an initiative and you know the position reasonably well.
Well, thank you, Fabiano.
Thank you.